All right. With last week's games in the books, it's time to place wagers for the upcoming week of sports. There's no better way of being a part of the game like Action 24/7's app, the official sports booking site for the Full Sport Press podcast.
Get into the game right from your couch. It's pretty simple. Just download the Action 24/7 app, create your profile, and use code FSP100.
That's code FSP100. Only the Action 24/7 app. Eligibility restriction applied. See action247.com for more details.
Remember, game responsibly for promotional use only.
Greetings and salutations. I would like to welcome everybody back and some of you for the first time to the Full Sport Press podcast, the premier sports podcast for the consummate sports fan. And this is your one-stop shop for all sports-related news and topics. I am Jay Ho.
It's your boy, Big Jeff.
Weezy in the building. Say what's up. We said.
What it do, what it do, what it do.
Coach Light back in the building. Say what's up, Cal.
What's happening, fellas? How's everybody doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Sure.
Everybody staying safe.
Yeah, for sure. I am, for sure.
For the most
And
part.
speak for the world, though.
Definitely for the world, because the world ain't. We know what the world is doing.
Yeah, the world in a different place. Yeah. We keep on waiting, Coach.
Yeah, wade in the water.
And then
Waiting on the world to change.
Oh, my goodness.
heal the world.
Make it a better place. You got to make it a better place. For who, Weezy?
For everybody.
God, man.
No. Episode 346, man. We are handing out preseason awards for the 2020 college basketball season.
FSP style.
Always FSP style.
You better damn know it.
Better than believe it.
Let's kick it off, man. Coach, who you got? Best of the week.
Oh man, that almost made my best of the week right there. Last minute change, but my best of the week is Snoop Dogg commentating on the Tyson Jones Jake Robinson fight. Man, he did it like only he can do it. Like I was dying laughing at the stuff that he was saying, man. Like when Robinson got knocked out. Oh my God, man! It was made for TV, man. Made for TV.
Sure. We're going to talk about old Snoop Dogg at halftime for sure. Best of the week, Weezy, what you got?
Best of the week for me was the best of the week for me was college football and my Vanderbilt Commodores letting the girl kick. But then Coach Mason got fired, so it was rough. It was rough. So it was a little bittersweet, but hey, that's my best of the week.
Should they have let her kick away, Weezy?
Yeah.
Thank you. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Jeff, what you got? Best of the week.
My best of the week is another big boxing weekend. Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia for the welterweight championship. Lock is taking. I want to be there. Lock. It's in Dallas. I need to be in the building, but we can't be. We can't do that right now. But this gonna be a big fight. Errol's back, first time back because his car accident almost took his life. First time back in the ring, man. I hope he's ready because Danny Garcia is top of the line of opponents. So we're gonna see. It's gonna be a big night.
Most definitely, man. My best of the week is Josh Gordon, me and Jeff's guy. He will be permitted to take part in meetings, individual workouts, and strength and conditioning, but not will be permitted to practice, travel with the team, or attend any games until December 21st after Seattle's Week 15 games. Just played in 63 games, y'all, since he was chosen in the 2012 supplemental draft in 2012. 63 games, bro, in 8 years. It's nuts.
Sad, especially with what they about to do with marijuana now. That makes it worse.
Man. That's tough, man, for sure. Worst of the week, Coach, what you got?
I'm going to circle right back to the fight, man. The way Nate Robinson went out was bad. Oh, that was bad. He's officially become the meme of 2020, and they are killing him. And I mean literally killing him. Yeah. And then he followed it up with the Pops clip from Friday, talking about instead of picking up guns, use your hands. Nate Robinson, we were talking about you and Jake. I'm sorry. Jake. It was never about guns with him. No.
Sure wasn't. That's definitely worse of the week. What you got, Weezy?
Worst of the week for me was NFL, man, Bud Dupree, man. They made that man play a game on Wednesday when he kept telling him to practice and stop practicing, and he went out there and tore his ACL. I hate that for Bud Dupree. NFL, they got it's a rough business, man. Rough business.
True, man. True. Prayers up to Bud Dupree, man. Godspeed to that. Jeff, what you got?
Kind of double down what Coach Locke said, but to another fight that happened that night. So George Foreman, y'all know he was the oldest heavyweight champion ever. He's actually pushing Mike Tyson to step in the ring with Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua, saying he can take him and saying Mike could be the world heavyweight champion again. Mike, don't you listen to him? Don't you do this? Mike, you know damn well you smoked weed before that fight. You probably was on PEDs. They didn't test you for none of that. Yeah. So don't do that, Mike. Don't you do that. They will kill you. What? Yeah. Don't you do it.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. My worst of the week, man, is Paul George. Blaming Doc Rivers for his slow year. Hey, PG, you're better than that, man. You're a better man than that. You're a top 10 NBA talent. If you're playing at that, way, if you decide to play that way, don't blame the coach. Take some responsibility. Be a man. That was a weak ass move, and I'm hot at you. I've been hot at you since this damn pandemic P showed up. So you're on the list, brother. You definitely on the list doing Doc like that, man. Don't do Doc like that, dog.
I told you to watch him once he turned down that money and said Russell Westbrook was his best friend. I told you about him.
Hard to trust people nowadays, for sure.
That's your man. That's your man's.
Who?
Yours. That's your man.
How you done? Pack him up, Jeff.
Now make sure you check us out on iTunes, Facebook, IG, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, Beyond Pod, YouTube, and of course, the SoundCloud page to catch up on the full archive of past episodes of FSP. How do you do that? Just search Full Sport Press Podcast. When you get through doing that, make sure you check out the On Deck TV Hip Hop Podcast with Animal Brown and Spike Lee every Wednesday. The latest issue is up, the Hip Hop Person of the Year episode. So y'all make sure you go and check that out to see who they picked for Hip Hop Person of the Year.
Most definitely, man. Shout out to the guys. My Hip Hop Person of the Year is Hit Boy. What about you, Coach?
I'm going to go with Hit Boy or Swiss. Little baby, either one.
Jeff?
You guys took the three main ones. I go West Side Gun then.
Like that. What about you, Weezy?
Drake.
How did I know? How did I know?
Well, you stay on brand, boy.
How did I know?
OVO Weezy for sure.
You get you an OVO aisle chain, Weezy.
He already got hoodies. He don't need all he needs is a chain for sure. Moving right along, Fresher Than Your Average podcast features myself and my dog Animal Brown. Is a self-help fashion podcast directly related to improve everyday fashion. We have a new FTYA IG live show featuring Max Monroe from Wish Atlanta. Pull up on us on the IG page directly for the culture. You can watch the interview in its entirety on youtube.com/realveal, man. Don't forget to wear your kicks. Cop response. All right. Also, we have the Realveal Patreon page. For sure, you can support starting the team. You can support the team starting right now, man. Patreon features Full Sport Press, On Deck TV, Fresher Than Your Average, and much, much more. There will be an episode posted on the Full Sport Press page. If you want to try that out, see what Patreon is all about, it will be on the page this week. Check it out. Episodes are up on Patreon. Support the team, man. Support the real. Most definitely. Jeff, you are back with 10 good wrestling seconds. You ready to start the clock?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, before we get started, this week's 10 Good Wrestling Seconds is brought to you by Skill Wing Workouts. Make sure to follow them on all social media at Skill Wing, and don't forget to download the Skill Wing app to cover your training needs, receive alerts on the latest apparel drops, and plenty of content to motivate and inspire. As always, help us, don't hurt us. Now, to the square circle, one of the most surprising events of the week of the year. 61-year-old multi-time champion Sting made his return not to WWE, but to AEW. Signed a multi-year contract, a full-time contract with AEW. Apparently, he isn't finished wrestling. Now, what makes this even more weird is that Sting had proposed the last match with The Undertaker in WWE, which is the match that everyone who's ever watched wrestling in the world wanted to see, but we never got to see. And WWE apparently turned that down. Sting felt the way about it and signed a contract with AEW. So there you have it. Sting has now joined forces with AEW. I don't know what that means because he's 61 years old. And when I say he looks it, he looks it. He can barely move to the ring. He steps into the ropes pretty slow. I don't know how long they're gonna be able to keep this up, but he's a legend, so we'll see how it plays out.
That was gonna be my question, Jeff. How old is he? I knew he had to be at least 57.
61, coach.
His body's broke down. I know it's broke
down. Hey, Jeff, conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Since Undertaker's done at WWE, you think AEW signing for maybe one, maybe 3 or 4 month contract for him and Sting?
If they would try, but Undertaker's the only one that never left Vince. He's the only person that never left Vince, and he treats Vince like his own dad. Like, it's crazy. Like, WCW offered him all kind of money to leave at one point. He would never leave. He's never left. Once he got to WWF, he never left, and I don't think he'd do Vince like that. So now, please make sure you follow us at 808s and Chair Shots on Instagram and the Twitters and Facebook, and be on the lookout every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. We drop consistently. Shout out to Neek. As always, you might not like it, but your auntie love wrestling.
Most definitely, man. Don't forget to tweet us. Damn, Jay. Don't forget to tweet us with questions throughout the week at Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment and give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page, on the iTunes page. Please rate and subscribe. But more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
That the revolution will be podcasted. Cool. Now, before we get started with the first half, Weezy, do you have a yellow box of Cheerios award recipient for the listeners?
I do. This week's award recipient is Larsa Pippen.
It is. Larsa Pippen might still be in the middle of getting a divorce from Scottie Pippen, but she isn't sitting back and waiting for it to go through. She continues to search for love. In fact, the 46-year-old was recently spotted out with Timberwolves guard Malik Beasley, Coach Locke's guy. The 24-year-old is having a great month as he recently agreed to a 4-year, $60 million deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now Malik Beasley is a free agent in his own life to hold hands in public with Larsa because his wife, Montana Yao, who we talked about a couple of weeks back on this here segment, she filed for divorce just days after the scandal became public. The story has grown so much that her son, Vanderbilt point guard Scottie Pippen Jr., Weezy's guy, had a post, said, and I quote, "I'm focused on myself and my goals. I'm not responsible for anybody's actions. All good over here," end quote. Larsa came out and said, "Everything that looks like sugar could be salt. Mind your business," end quote from Larsa. Larsa Pippen, grow up. Be a mom. You're 46 years old. You got a couple of kids. Just be a mom, man. You don't need to be dating 24-year-old guys. I think you've passed that. But sugar and salt sounds like something Future would say 100%. She's been around Future a while, huh?
Mama got to have a life too, Jay. Don't you do that. Mama got to have a life too.
He is grown too. She's shaking it. She's shaking it.
She definitely heard Future say that before. She's definitely heard that. And I like how you tried to put Malik Beasley on me. That was real slick.
Florida State guy, man.
What does that mean? He didn't play football.
ACC.
He didn't play football.
ACC.
He didn't play football.
ACC.
Okay, so the next North Carolina football player is your man's.
Nah, man, I'm just saying.
That stuff only work for y'all SEC guys. That whole claiming the conference stuff only work for y'all.
Y'all don't know nobody to do that.
I
don't know anybody to do that. Weezy gonna get that out to Larsa.
Yeah, that's on the way. Can I deliver that much?
No.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Take your ass on over there. Now take your ass on over there. You guys ready to get started the first half?
Let's do it.
The first half is underway.
First half, the hottest sports news of the past week, like we do each and every week here at the Full Sport Press Podcast. Before we get started, I am J Ho.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
It's your boy Weezy. What it do?
It's your man, Coach Locke.
Locke, where can they find you on social media, my brother?
They can find me on IG and Twitter at Locke_the_great. That's THA. Get at me.
Yeah. Shit, Jay. Weezy, what you got?
FSP Weezy on IG, and I'm at How Weezy on Twitter. Holla at me.
Sure, man. What about you, Jeff?
Jay Easley 84 across all social media platforms.
For sure, and I'm J Hope on Instagram and Twitter, man. Have a conversation with me on Twitter, man. Let's do it. Jeff, it's FSP Fantasy Football Week, man. What week is this, Jeff?
This is week 13.
For sure, man.
Whew, getting ready for playoffs, man. Playoffs start next week. It's big time matchups this week. Myself, Winston's eye exam at 6-6, going against Show Me Them TDs. Shout out to Paul. He's 4-8. He's out of contention right now, but he can definitely make it rough for me. Pause if he gets the W on me this week. So I got to win this one, DP. So look out for your boy. And preseason champ, shout out to Shane, going against Vandalay International. One time for Reagan. Reagan has played himself back into contention. He's paying attention right now for everybody. If he wins this one, it's going to be rough because the math is going to be hard to deal with for everybody at this point. Shane is at 4-8. He's on the outside looking in, but, had a good season. Preseason champ, as he say. A-Royale with the cheese. He's in. No worries on his end. He's 7-5, going against King Star Mike. One time for Cam. Cam had a tough season, but he's still pushing out there, but he had a tough season. We move on to AB. Shout out to Kanye's 2024 versus TB12 Memory Loss D Harris. These are the number 1 and number 2 ranked teams in the league facing off. Nothing changes here. Whoever wins or loses doesn't change the seeding, so they're just playing for fun at this point. And lastly, Big Draco. Well, next to last, Big Draco. Shout out to Chaz at 5-7 against Weezy. You choose a side at 5-7. Both teams need to win bad. And lastly, Coach's Corner. Coach Wayman has played himself into the playoffs at 6-6 versus Now Watch guys. One time for Sean Watch at 8-4, ranked 3rd. If Sean Watch beats Coach's Corner, it gets ugly for everybody because then it becomes even more convoluted and confusing when it comes down to the math. So that is your Week 13 FSP Fantasy Football breakdown. Pull for me, guys. Nobody else. Just pull for Winston's eye exam. We need this win.
Yeah, man. Get you a W, man. Long as Twin don't win, I don't give a damn, man. Let's talk some NBA, man. Wednesdays evening. Whew, Jeff's favorite basketball player, Russell Westbrook, was traded for John Wall in the first-round pick. Caught everybody basically by surprise. For a fair-weather fan, this looks like the quintessential, we'll trade our problem for your problem and kind of hope for the best scenario. I think there's more to this trade, though. The question I have for you guys, who will have the better 2021 season, John Wall or Russell Westbrook?
I think that's a great question because I don't know. Because John Wall's coming off he hasn't played in 2 years. We haven't seen nothing except what we've seen in Pro-Am and what he's been hooping at, on IG. So we haven't seen nothing. But Russell Westbrook, he's been playing ball. He's been traded like he's Dwight Howard all of a sudden. I don't understand it. And I'm thinking about it can't be because of his talent, right? Traded like that, or it could be. I don't know. Is he? I'm mesmerized by that trade, but I'm thinking Russell Westbrook had a better year.
This is going to be tough because it depends on what you're looking for, right? Houston, if they keep that team intact, is still James Harden. That's still James Harden, regular season James Harden. So that's going to be a playoff team. Hopefully, Boogie can do something. Anything with 75%, 80% of what Boogie Cousins was is a formidable opponent. Then you bring in John Wall as the X factor. So they can look like a formidable team. I can see it. Then you go to the Wizards and you look at Brad Beal, 30 points a game. That's going to come down a little bit, maybe 27 this year, maybe 26. Russ is going to be there. You got the young kid, Danny, Jay's guy. They could be a 6 seed in the East. They could be. And if you look at that team coming from last year to come into a 6 seed, maybe fifth, sixth, I would go with Russ, man.
I'm going to go with Russ just for the unknown of the injury situation with Boogie Cousins. Coming off those injuries he had, he's a big. So he relies on that. He's going to rely on his movement because that's what made him special as a big, that he was very athletic. He was agile. We don't know how he's going to bounce back because he's basically coming off 2 injuries back to back. So we never really got to see him get his feet under him. With John Wall, he's going to be able to help James Harden. They're going to have a new system in Houston, so it's going to be different. They're going to have to learn that. But Russell Westbrook's going to have to learn a new system with Brad Beal too. But with them being in the East, I think it'll be a little easy for him to adjust a little more. So I'm going to go with Russell Westbrook and Brad Beal, and the Wizards having a better year.
Yeah, I'll make that 4 for 4. But I say this literally every NBA show. Every player has looked better the year after they play with James Harden. Dwight, DeMelo, CP, now Westbrook. They look normal again. Westbrook, when making all NBA team, playing with Brad Beal and playing with his old coach, Scott Brooks. This is a total win for him. I hate that my boy John Wall, who I predicted to have a great season, have an all-star season, will now have to suffer playing with Harden. The best hope that John Wall can pray for is that he is traded, and not necessarily. I'm talking about James Harden being traded within the next 6 weeks, so him and Boogie can get it going in H-Town. No strip club is safe. This is a great thing for the Houston economy. Can't
Sure
do
is.
anything. Yeah, no, for sure. You're gonna turn it up the right way, but Russell Westbrook is going to be fine, man. You're going to see old Russ right here. Everybody is looked at, is washed and done after they play with James Harden. Now you'll see the best of Russell Westbrook you hadn't seen in a while. He'll make an All-NBA team for sure, Jeff. It'll be a good year. He might make top 7 for sure.
Wow.
Only thing I'm concerned about real quick about that is the coaches, though. Scott Brooks back with Russ, that was always a problem for me because he was afraid to give Russ plays, and Russ needs structure. And then you bring in Houston with their brand new philosophy and everything, having to coach those egos of Boogie Cousins and John Wall and James Harden. That's a lot to ask of young Silas. So, I don't know.
All right. Well, keeping it with the NBA, Weezy's boy, LeBron James, who turns 36 later this month, agreed to a 2-year maximum contract with the Lakers worth nearly $86 million. Now, he took the longest deal he could without invoking the NBA's over 38 rule, which restricts older players from signing multi-year deals. He previously had a player option for the 2021-22 season, but is now under contract with the Lakers through 2022-2023. So my question for you guys is, will we see LeBron James play in the NBA with his son Bronny and be the first father-son duo to play in the NBA together?
Of course, we'll see it, but we need to. I wish they stopped that talk because I seen Bronny, and then he could put pressure on that kid. He's not. I don't think what his dad is by any sorts of imagination. He ain't nothing with what his dad is, and they're putting pressure on him. Like I don't know if he's even a one and done from what I've seen so far. I don't. But he's only a sophomore, but I don't think he's a one and done. But LeBron's gonna play just as long as he can. As long as he can, so he can play with his son. So we'll see.
LeBron will have so many favors to cash in that somebody will take a flyer on young Bronny, even if he is a middle child ball brother and not the two main ball brother. You know what I mean? So but I do think we're hard on Bronny a little too early. I think he could turn around right now, like especially being only going into his junior year, right? Going to junior high school. So I one and done. Yeah, he'll be a one and done player just because off the strength of his name. In the coach we're in right now, he'll be one and done.
I bet. I think for the first time in LeBron James's career, he's showing some mortality, y'all. He negotiated this contract, like Locke said, as something that he put into the CBA, not him. I know Rich Paul had a lot to do with this, but to cash out 2 years early, I call it insurance, call it a safeguard. Dude, this dude's about to start his 18th season. He's got 60,000 miles. When I say miles, I'm saying minutes on his body, dog. So functionally, it makes sense for him to do that. He watched Dwayne Wade go through knee issues and had, a not ceremoniously departure from the Heat with a contract dispute. In the end of this, you'll push James's career earnings to right around $435 million, the most of all time. That mission seems accomplished. He'll figure that out, but I think he did this just for some insurance, just to kind of say, hey, if Father Time does catch up with me, I'll still have a way to kind of cement myself as a NBA player. But Bronny, if Jello Ball is in the NBA right now, Bronny will be in the NBA for sure.
For sure, he will. Now, the good thing about Brian, like you mentioned, is he's still young. He still has 2 years basically of high school sports. And if you look at him, he's grown tremendously, which is going to be a big deal for him. The same thing that I always say about Ball Jeff's boy. When I was talking about him saying I don't know if he'll be a top pick, it's because he was 6'3" at the time. He grew to be 6'7". And if there's a point guard, when you go to be 6'7", that gives you a lot of jump up a draft round. So I think he will be a one and done based off his name and his skill set. But like Weezy mentioned, nobody needs to compare him to his dad. Stop that. No, that's a one in a generational talent in LeBron James. So it's not fair to Bronny for people to compare him to his dad.
Shout out to LeVar Ball, prophecy fulfilled all the way around. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Let's go back to the boxing ring, guys. The League of Legends Boxing Federation had their first pay-per-view on the Triller app and on pay-per-view this weekend. We talked about it a little bit in the best of the week. We had performances by YG, minus his hard bottoms, French Montana, St. John, and an impromptu performance from Snoop Dogg. That's supposed to be Lil Wayne, but, we were there. The card was main evented by Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones exhibition and Jake Paul, Nate Robinson. We talked about that. So, guys, after all is being said, what was your biggest highlight of the evening? I know we all watched it.
Oh, I mean, biggest highlight of the evening was pretty much Nate Robinson getting his ass knocked out. Like I want to see somebody get knocked out. So Nate Robinson, I was happy about that. He got his ass knocked out. But on a more positive note, Mike Tyson, we got to give that man his props as being an athlete. He still can move. Mike Tyson was ready to box. Like every time he got going and hit Roy with a good one, Roy wrapped his ass up. All right, chill out, bro. This is exhibition. Mike Tyson was ready to go. Mike Tyson was still in shape. He felt like he get in better shape. Mike Tyson he can still box to this day.
I would say the highlight of my night was Snoop. Like I mentioned, best of the week, man. We haven't seen anybody commentate like Snoop. The references he makes them that we feel like we can relate to, that something that you probably hear in your own household when you're watching these matches. He's saying what we say at home, and we like to see that. Nate Robinson did get his ass knocked out, and I was kind of nervous for him at first. The way he hit the mat, I was like, oh, he might be in real trouble. I knew he was knocked out, but I was thinking he might be in a little more trouble. Yeah, so I'm glad he did get up, but it just goes to show, man, if you can't get in the ring with professional boxers, and Jake ain't even that much a professional, but he's been boxing far longer than Nate Robinson, man.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. It was great. Triller did a great job. Shout out to Triller for sure. But the California Commission gave these guys licenses to fight, Jeff. Jake knew what the hell he was doing. He fought a complete novice. Nate Robinson had did all this training. He got a YouTube thing. We following him training to get ready for this fight. And as soon as that bell rang, he lost all sight of those weeks of training. He was doing some wild shit. I don't know what the hell Nate was doing. Nate was fast as hell. I was like, Nate ain't a race. Man, he got his ass knocked out in 8 punches. Listen, I think this is just the start for celebrity boxing, man. We used to see celebrity boxing matches on MTV, but it was in claymation form, right? I'm telling you, that's going to be the new thing. Nobody wants to pay $50 to watch the guys that Jeff was talking about. No disrespect to those guys, Errol Spence and them, on the 17th page of the Boxing Rex light heavyweight rankings for a fight. Nobody wants to see those fights, but people want to see people get their ass knocked out. And listen, they got their money's worth. And listen, what I'm trying to tell you, Nate little feet was put together so nicely. That's how I know when I'm really sleep taking a good nap. My feet are like that. You know what I'm saying? So I knew he was in REM sleep, dog. My dog was in REM sleep. That shit hurt me. I was worried. Like, coach said, oh, shit, we done caught a body. I was like, goddamn, 2020. I don't want to see nobody dead, man. But, yeah, for sure, he was asleep.
The one thing with Nate was, like, you know how many people that get on my nerves and they say they can beat me in hooping and put me in football? And I was like, shit, they can't beat me. I'll go out there and play the X. And then one of my homeboys called me in jail. I come, hey, he played for what's called. Oh, shit, I ain't going to play his ass. That's all you got to do. Hey, man, his ass boxed. You can go in there and get your ass knocked out. Like, chill. You know what I'm saying? He boxed. And he got your ass tore up. Like they call you to, hey man, they call me to my time and tell me, hey, you know he played for Vanderbilt, man. Okay, I ain't gonna play his ass then. Well, if somebody call you and tell you this Jake dude, he can box a little bit, just talk shit on Twitter, bro. And that's it. Do not meet his ass in the ring. You get your ass knocked out.
8 punches. He was knocked down 3 times in 8 punches. That's insane.
It's got to be the highest percentages ever in a boxing.
My goodness.
And if that money was right, they said the money was right.
Ain't no way.
They
had to be a sprint. It had to be
wrong.
No, that was wrong. He got 600,000.
Yeah, it's no way.
There's no way.
$600. It's no way. No way.
Okay, 600,000. Okay, cool.
And the thing is, right? We giving Jake Paul a lot of credit. Like he's a more experienced boxer than Nate. But he not like that.
No.
But Nate, like Jay said, Nate just gave up. And as soon as the bell rung, he just went right back to I'm gonna go in, one punch, scoop. You know what I mean? It's like, no, Nate, this is really boxing. And then he got hit. And then it was over with. It was over as soon as he got hit.
Yeah, he hit him in the back of his head, and he's like, that shit hurt. That shit hurt my
realized
dog.
He was trying to say it was the back of the head, but it was an ear, Nate. That was an ear punch. That counts.
Yeah, he forgot that was right. He forgot he had the
ear
punch. He forgot that was
count.
the body part. He can hit you there, bro. That's it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
So
fair
before we
game.
get out of here, was anybody on this call taking that 600,000 and get knocked out like that?
If I knew, now listen now, if I knew I was able to get up like Nate at the crib playing with his kids right now, I'd do it. Knock me the hell out. I need them 600. Knock me out.
I need more than 2 months. Whatever time Nate had to prepare for that fight, I need longer than that. Like it showed. Like he literally, because he didn't have his instincts kicked in, and as soon as the instincts kicked in, it was regular fighting. And you can't do that in a boxing match. Like
he didn't have his hands up not one time.
Not one time.
Yeah,
no defense, no head movement, nothing.
Yeah, but we still didn't say we're taking 600,000, and that's cool.
No, I wouldn't take it.
Yeah, I mean, Jason
knock me out.
All right, so you get your ass knocked out, and then could you deal with being a meme for the next 2 years?
Yep.
You lying. I posted me in that chat of you. You be mad as hell. You lying.
You guys ready to get started with halftime, man?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get it.
We're at the midway point. Enjoy all of the halftime festivities.
Halftime, in case you missed it. Now, like we talked about in pre-production, held the whole weekend, held the whole first half. Snoop Dogg is coming to boxing on a more permanent basis. The legendary rapper announced Tuesday that he is partnering with Triller to create a new boxing league called the Fight Club. Now, the league will have a multiple event year situation with Snoop Dogg as the host and announcer. The Fight Club will have 5 to 8 events per year, and also with a similar layout to how Saturday's Tyson Jones card was produced by Mixing Boxing and Musical X. While the league has the option to pick up potential future events involving Mike Tyson, it is a separate entity from Tyson's Legends Only League, which was kicked off with the Tyson's Jones fight. Now, the Fight Club is hoping to have its first fight card early next year. Are you signing up for Snoop Dogg's Fight Club?
Yeah, I'm here to see that. I'm here to see Snoop Dogg Fight Club. I'm actually proud of Snoop for getting another check. Hard to send him to another check during the pandemic. I'm all about it.
Who would have thought nothing with a deep cover, nothing but a G thing would have brought us to this? But, whatever. I think this is a great idea on paper. I don't think it'll work, though, simply because what it's going to represent. What made last weekend so dope was the nostalgia of Mike versus Roy, and then the knockout of the YouTube sensation versus the pro athlete. These are going to be real fighters if they do this, from what I'm reading about this league. And that, yes, Snoop is going to bring people in, but the common fan isn't going to sign up just to see two guys fight. If that's the case, you'll just go watch Bellator or bare knuckle fighting or UFC more. It's a niche crowd, so I don't know if that'll work. Now, if they can somehow mix Mike's league, Legends Only League in with this and make it work that way, now you're talking. That's what Snoop needs to be a part of.
That was going to be my question. Before I sign up, I need to see some names that are going to be involved in this. Because like Jeff mentioned, if it's just regular real boxers, and not regular, I guess I say professional boxers, of course they won't be on the level of the Errol Spences, clearly. But if they are real pro boxers that's trained, it won't be the same. Because People want to see knockouts. That's why people liked heavyweight fighters, because most of the time when you watch a heavyweight fight, somebody gets knocked out most of the time because they have the power. And that's what people want to see. That's why this was such a big deal, because of the Nate Robinson knockout. I don't think it would have been as big of a talk if he doesn't get knocked out.
Here's the thing. We've seen beef happen. Who wouldn't pay right now to see Pusha T versus Drake in a boxing ring? I think it's going to go that route. I'm telling y'all, this is going to be a way to say, hey, put the guns down, King Von, rest in peace, but find a way to box in this ring. They're going to find a way to squash beefs by boxing and trying to make it seem like, hey, we're putting the guns down, we're actually fighting each other. I think it can work, man, if they go about it that way. Because there's been beef. What about Chris Brown and Drake when they were beefing? That would have been great to see.
Chris Brown and Soulja Boy, that's who was really supposed to do
it.
Yeah.
Now, if you go there, they got some sense into their head, like, man, I'm gonna get knocked out. Like Chris Brown would have knocked Soulja Boy to next Wednesday. He just be getting up right now.
But that's the thing. It's got to be something like that. It can't just be like the undercard of the Tyson thing had real fighters, and they actually put on good matches. But if it just would have been that, nobody would have paid that $50.
What about me and you, Jay?
Man, I'll knock your ass out. Let's do it. Sign it up.
Let's move on. Are we ready for the second half?
Let's get it.
Please, let's go.
Let's just go to the second half.
The fight too. Let's get it.
He get his ass knocked out, Coach. Fucking
Damn lie. Damn lie. Your reach too short.
The second half is underway.
Second half, the 2020 NCAA College Basketball Preview Show, episode 346. Before we get started, I'm Jay Holt.
It's your boy Big Joe.
It's your boy Weezy. What it do?
It's your man, Coach Lock.
Lock, finally, after months and months of waiting, the 2020-2021 NCAA basketball season is finally here, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for some bold predictions. We're not guaranteeing that these things will happen indeed. We're certainly don't expect all these to hit as far as a prediction to hit, but with a little bit of logic, a little bit of deductive reasoning, and a little bit of gambler's luck, shout out to Weezy, we think that all these predictions have a real chance of proving to be true. First thing we'll start off with is the Bob Cousy Award, which is the nation's top point guard, last year's winners. Jeff's guy and Lock's guy. No, it ain't even Jeff's guy. This is Lock's guy, Peyton Pritchard from Oregon. Preseason pick, Lock. Who you got winning this one, man, and why?
Not gonna let you put that on me. No. Didn't never say that. But anyway, I am going with Marcus Zagorowski from Creighton. He's proved himself to be arguably the best point guard in the country. He has a high IQ floor leader who averaged 5 assists and shot 42% from the three. He was one of the reasons that the Blue Jays were a top 10 team for much of last season. So I'm going to go with Marcus from Creighton.
All right, I'll go right behind Lot. My boy, I'm going with the point guard from Arizona State, Remy Martin. Pac-12 guy. 17 points a game, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. And I think he could have left last year, to be honest with you, but he didn't. He probably should have, but he didn't. I'm going to go as I want Remy Martin from Arizona State.
I'm going with Javonte Smart from LSU. Hey, man, I like the kid's game, averaging 12 a game over the course of his career, going to his junior year. I think he's going to surprise the people a lot this year. And the LSU is going to be tough to deal with as well in the SEC. Give me Javonte Smart.
Yeah. I like all y'all picks, man. That was pretty good. We, especially you, Remy Martin. That's my guy. I love Remy Martin, one of my favorite basketball players. But I'm going with my guy, pick him every year. So let's see if we'll hit this year with Ayo Dosunmu from Illinois. Dosunmu is an elite basketball player, man. Furthermore, super dynamic, just an ability to create and also get to the basket defensively. He's very active. He's a pro. If he would have left after his freshman year, he would have been a lottery pick. Stayed a little too long, but I think this is his year, Illinois' year. I got a lot of stake in Illinois. We'll talk about that a little later in the show. Moving on to
your man's too.
Ayo's my guy.
Okay.
Ayo Dosunmu is my guy. Ain't no question. Hey, charge it to the game, whatever's left of it. That's my guy for sure. The next award is the Jerry West Award, which is the top shooting guard in all of college basketball. Last year's winner was Miles Powell from Seton Hall. Preseason pick. Who you got, Jeff?
I'm going with AJ Green from Northern Iowa. Junior puts up a lot of points. My kind of shooting guard. I like my shooting guards put up a lot of buckets, averaging 20 a game. And he's going to be the favorite to win the Missouri Valley Conference with Northern Iowa. That they're the favorites to win. Give me AJ Green.
All right, right back to me. I went with the point guard from UConn, James Bouknight. Shooting guard from UConn, James Bouknight. I'm sorry, James Bouknight, man. He's another player that could have left last year, but didn't. Probably should have. With this COVID. Probably should have left. Got some money. But hey, he's super athletic this year. I think he's 30% from three. He can score from anywhere on the court. He's a different kind of guard from UConn. You usually got the little small guards, but this guy can light it up. James Bouknight.
I'm going with the freshman, Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma State. He enters college basketball. Enters college basketball as a top-ranked freshman for a good reason. He's strong, athletic. He can virtually do everything great. You know, he can run the point. He makes players better, and he can attack and score. The only thing is he has to get better on this perimeter shot, but he can use his strength and size to get to the basket. So I'm going to go with Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma State.
Yep. That'll be the number one pick in the draft next year. Y'all book it. My pick is Quentin Grimes from Houston. Coming into college, he went to Kansas and was a lottery pick. Coming out of camp, there was no college situation. He would have been a lottery pick coming straight out of high school. He has since transferred to Houston, and the talent is finally being seen again. Great size and ability, 3-level player. He'll continue to develop in one of the best guards in the country and try to help lead Houston to a top-tier team in the country for sure. So Quentin Grimes from Houston. Moving on to the Julius Erving Award, which is the top small forward in all of college basketball. Last year's winner was Sadiq Bey from Villanova. Who's your preseason pick, Jeff?
Keontae Johnson from Florida, man. 14 points a game, 7 boards a game. Florida's going to be a sneaky good team this year. Going to be a tough out in the SEC. Give me Keontae Johnson.
I hate to piggyback off Jeff, but I got to roll with Keontae Johnson. Lord, I actually watched him play last night. He put it on the show last night. Acquired 25 points last night. Keontae Johnson.
I'm going to go with B.J. Boston from Kentucky. He's lights out score. He can possibly lead them in scoring. You know, they always have a lot of freshmen. He has all the components you need from a guy like him. He's athletically great. He can score, and he doesn't shine from the big moments. You know, he always has good production against competition. So I'm going to go with B.J. Boston from Kentucky.
All right, I'm going with Corey Kispert from Gonzaga. Kispert is a knockdown shooter, man. Really took strides in becoming a go-to option on the perimeter for Gonzaga last year. He'll be one of the best players in college basketball's best team, man. I think Gonzaga is going to go very, very far into I would call it probably May Madness this year. So give me Corey Kispert from Gonzaga. The next award is the Karl Malone Award, the top power forward in all of college basketball. Last year's winner was Obi Toppin from Dayton. Preseason pick, Jeff. Who you got?
I got Tracy Jackson Davis, kid from Indiana. He's got a lot to deal with going against Luka Garza and people like that for Big Ten Player of the Year. But Jackson Davis racked up. He got like 14 a game, 9 boards. Only going to get better going to his sophomore year. My kind of player.
All right, I'm going to go with Drew. I was going to go with that player too, Jim, but I'm going to go with Drew Timme from sophomore from Gonzaga. 6'10", 225. Only averages 9 points a game, but very, very feisty power forward, man. Get a lot of rebounds. He's going to help Gonzaga. They might get a number 1 seed this year.
I went with Jeremiah Robinson Earl from Villanova. He's poised to have a great season from freshman to sophomore year in terms of his impact and production. He could have went to the league, but decided to come back to Villanova, which is big for them, which puts them right back in a title contender. He's 6'9". He can step out past the 3-point line because he made 21 of them as a freshman. So look for this guy to be one of the best power forwards and win this award from Villanova.
I like that lock. I'm going with your pick as well, Weezy. Drew Timme from Gonzaga. He's the next great Gonzaga big man, following in the lead of Locke's guy, Rui Hachimura. Just one of the best interior players in the country next season. And I think his ability to run the floor is very dangerous in transition. I'm telling you, man, Gonzaga with my guy Jalen Suggs, that's the only reason I didn't pick him to be the point guard of the year because he ain't gonna get enough touch because hell, there's gonna be two other people winning National Player of the Year awards on his same starting five. It's gonna be tough for him. The last award for the starting five is the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award, top center in all of college basketball. Last year's winner was Luka Garza from Iowa. Who's your preseason pick and why, Jeff?
I got Ayu Densumu. Did I say it right?
Yeah, sounds great.
Oh, you said it right. That nigga don't play center though. That nigga play point guard.
I'm sorry. No. I'm bad. I'm tripping. Kofi Cockburn. I said the wrong guy. I had them two together. I'm tripping. Kofi Cockburn. He's gonna be the center that's gonna win the best center award this year. He averages 13 a game, 9 boards, and him and Densumu as a tandem are gonna look good. But Kofi Cockburn is my choice for center of the year. That's my bad.
I'm gonna go with Charles Bassey, center, Western Kentucky, man. You know, people forgot about him, but he's probably an NBA player for sure. He should have left last year. Kobe, he didn't worry about no Kobe, but I'm gonna go with Charles Bassey. It's gonna be Luka Garza, but I'm gonna go with Charles Bassey.
Bassey's gonna be fine. Weezy. He's a McDonald's All-American. He'll be okay staying. He'll be fine. He's gonna dominate down there like that. But I'm gonna go with Luka Garza from Iowa. He's gonna repeat this award. You know, he's great for college basketball. The bigs in college basketball still have life. It's not like the NBA where that position back to the basket is extinct. Now, will he transition? No, he won't. But for college basketball, he's going to do the same thing he did last year. He's continued to do in 2 games. He outscored his opponents in the first half. He has like 67 points first half in 2 games. His opponents have 61. So it's going to be Luka Garza again for this award.
Yeah, man. That's the easiest pick of the night. Luka Garza, best big man in college basketball, dominant force. Not that good defensively. Won't be a good pro, but we're talking college basketball. He's a complete player in college basketball. He'll go down as one of the best bigs in college basketball history for sure. Moving on to the next award is the Breakout Player of the Year award. Who's your preseason pick and why, Jeff?
Paul Scruggs from Xavier. 13 a game, 5 boards, 3 assists, filling up the stat sheet. Going to have a lot of competition in the Big East Conference. Talented guard. I like him, Paul Scruggs.
I'm gonna double back down. I'm gonna go back with Keontae Johnson. I think he's gonna have a breakout year this year in Florida, man. I like the Florida team. I like his game. It's quiet. He's built really good. I like Keontae Johnson.
I'm going to do like Weezy did. I'm going to bounce back to one of my picks from earlier with Jeremiah Robinson Earl from Villanova. He averaged 10.5 points and 9.4 rebounds per game last year. Now that Sadiq Bey is gone, it makes it open for him, and he's getting back the potential Big East Player of the Year go along with him, Colin Gillespie. So I think that's going to help Jeremiah's game just blossom even more. So I'm going to go with Jeremiah Robinson from Villanova.
Sure, man. It's a killer. I got Scotty Lewis from Florida. A lot of experts thought Scotty Lewis was going to be one of the few breakout stars as a freshman and go to the NBA. But now with the year under his belt, I think he's due for a huge sophomore year. Lagging a little bit as far as transitioning into Mike White's system, but only averaging 8 points a game. He should have a confident season going into his sophomore year. Can maybe get him to be a lottery pick for sure. Move on to the biggest impact transfer. Preseason pick, Jeff, and why?
R.J. Cole, UConn. 2 years at Howard, 21 points a game, 7 assists. It's gonna be fun to watch at UConn, man. Definitely my kind of point guard.
I'm gonna go with Oliver Sarr, transfer from Wake Forest to Kentucky. Coach Cal, you know what? Coach Cal got him another top 5 recruit just off. Hey, made a phone call, and when that coach level Wake Forest, it was a no brainer. Oliver Sarr, 7 foot. Come on, man, that's no brainer.
I'm going to go with Trey Murphy from Virginia. He can flat out just shoot the ball. I mean, this kid has a cannon, and he's going to fit in great with Tony Bennett's system. So he's going to be big for Virginia. They're going to make another run in this tournament. I think if they do have it, hopefully they will. But I'm going with Trey Murphy from Virginia.
I got Mac McClung, man. Just got cleared at Texas Tech. Offensive firecracker that was supposed to go to North Carolina, decided to go to Texas Tech. He reportedly wants to play a little bit more point guard in order to bolster his NBA profile. That'll require drastic change in approach because this guy's a gunner, like Jeff likes. So, a score first guard. His transition to be a distributor is going to be rough, but I think he'll do it, man. Mac McClung, Texas Tech. Moving on to mid-major player of the year. Who's your preseason pick and why, Jeff?
Terry Taylor from Austin P, senior forward. Man, 22 a game, 11 rebounds a game with 2 assists. Listen, this guy is something to watch. If you're looking for mid-major basketball, look at Terry Taylor, man, senior forward, Austin P.
I'm gonna stay in that same OVC conference, Jeff. I'm gonna go with Belmont center Nick Mazuski. He's a big 7-footer, man.
Big Moose.
Yeah, I hate to go against him. I'm a TSU fan, but 14 points, three rebounds a game, and like 2 assists. He's a monster too, man. Big guy.
I'm going to go with Kobe Ross from Pepperdine, 6'1" senior guard, point guard. He's already the school's all-time assist leader with 647, and he still has a whole year left, basically. He has 1,700 career points. He finishes, and at the line, he shoots from deep, and the NBA knows about it. Last year, he averaged 20.5 points and 7.2 assists. So I'm going to go with Kobe Ross out of Pepperdine.
Right. My pick, Western Kentucky's own Charles Bassey, man. He's number 6 player in the country coming out. McDonald's All-American, goes to Western Kentucky. His sophomore year, breaks his leg. That's why he can't go to the draft. Comes back. He's going to be a monster for the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Let's get it. The only thing I worry about with him, he's a dinosaur. But at the same time, he has expanded his game. He's playing on the perimeter now. So it's going to be a great year for him, man. I think he'll end up being a first-round pick when it's all said and done. Charles Bassey, Western Kentucky. Let's move on to the best freshman not playing for a top 10 team. Who's your preseason pick and why, Jeff?
You want to say Cade Cunningham, but you can't. That's too easy. So, but I'll go with Sharif Cooper, Auburn. Averaged 29 a game, 9 assists, 4 steals a game his last year in high school. A gunner, as Jay say, my kind of point guard, my kind of guard, shoot first, ask questions later. Sharif Cooper, Auburn.
I'm going with the power forward, Evan Mosley from USC, number 4 player in the country, 5-star recruit, big guy, can play. Probably going to be a one and done. Evan Mosley.
Jeff, you got to go on and get the people what they want, man. The answer is Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma State. He can do it all. A 6'7" point guard. Like you said, 6'7", you can't teach that alone. The kid can just flat out play. I was shocked that he decided to go ahead and go to Oklahoma State once they learned that they weren't going to be able to go to the postseason. I thought he would just go overseas or maybe G League, but he decided to go ahead and stay. It's nothing like college basketball and the college experience, and maybe that's why he did that. But this guy would normally probably be the number 1 pick. Cade Cunningham, Oklahoma State.
My preseason pick is Joshua Christopher from Arizona State. From the day he will step onto the Desert Financial Arena, Josh Christopher would be basically impossible to go unnoticed. He's an elite player, capabilities to do everything on the basketball floor, man. Reliable shooter, just a great player. One of my favorite basketball players in all college basketball. This is my guy, man. Joshua Christopher, Arizona State. He'll be a lottery pick next year for sure. The most overrated player in college basketball. Who's your preseason pick and why, Jeff?
I got Sam Hauser, a forward from Virginia. He's getting player of the year talk. I don't see that. He's transferring in from Marquette. They got big expectations for him in Virginia. He might let y'all down, man.
I'm gonna roll right back with Sam Hauser from Virginia, Jeff. I'm gonna beg you on that 100%.
I'm going with Marcus Garrett from Kansas. Devin Dotson and Udoka Azubuike, they're gone. And this being his senior year, he's supposed to step up and be the man's a senior, so his numbers should dramatically increase. That hasn't happened. Last year, averaged 9 points a game. Now he's averaging 10. 4.6 assists last year, 4.5 this year. I just don't see it transitioning for him, and I don't think he's going to be the player they thought he was going to be. Some people have him on their second and third All-American teams. I just don't see it.
Sure. My preseason pick is Matthew Hurt from Duke. It's the 3rd straight year I picked the most overrated player with the Duke. How coinky dinky is that? The number 12 player in the country 2 years ago averaged 10 points a game for Duke. Added some power to his game by putting on 20 pounds. working on his explosion as well. But he may have to start at the 5. He is not a 5. He is a stretch mark 4 at the best. So, of course, in order to successfully hold down that center spot, you're going to have to play defense. Guess what? He can't defend. So, only averaging 3.8 boards a game. It's not it, man. Matthew Hurt. He'll end up transferring the end of this year from Duke. Let's move right along to the coach on the hot seat. Who you got for your preseason pick and why, Jeff?
I got Richard Pitino, in Minnesota. Seat's getting a little scorching. Just signed an extension, 2-year extension in 2019 through 2024. It's been a roller coaster ride for him. He's got to turn it around this year or he's going to be out of there. Just put it out there. It's just like that.
I'm going to name a coach probably should have been fired. You dirty bastard. It's Will Wade, and you know why. You know why, you dirty bastard. Will Wade from LSU. Get him out of there.
I'm going to go with Jim Christian from Boston College. The Eagles have a 25-85 ACC record in 6 seasons under him. The high point of his tenure was when they lost in the first round of NIT in 2018, and that's only because they hadn't been to the NCAA tournament since 2009. He lost 3 of his top 4 scorers from last year, and he's bringing in the second lowest rated recruiting class in the ACC. So he's basically done. Probably would have been gone last year if COVID hadn't happened, but that saved him. But after this year, he's gone. Seek's hot, scorching.
Dead man walking. My preseason pick is Josh Pastner. He enters his 5th season with the Yellow Jackets, searching for his first NCAA tournament appearance. And he's had a couple of teams have been fully capable of reaching the big dance. Georgia Tech went to 15 NCAA tournament appearances from 85 to 2010. So there's some tradition of winning there. And current AD, I think his name is Stansbury. Yeah, Todd Stansbury. He didn't hire Pastner, so he's on the clock. And I think this is the year because they're supposed to be good in the ACC this year. Let's move right along to the best conference in NCAA basketball. Who's your preseason pick and why, Jeff?
It's a shocker to me at the Big Ten. 17 is ranked in the top 25 at the moment. I don't see that changing anytime soon. I'm going with the Big Ten.
I'm going. I do every year. I'm gonna go with the SEC. You can't count the SEC. They just got too many coaches. You got Tennessee. You got Bruce Pearl at Auburn. You got Coach Cal at Kentucky. It's just too many of them. Jerry Stackhouse at Vanderbilt's gonna have a good year this year. Well, hopefully. But here we go.
I'm with you, Jeff. Got to go with the Big Ten when you have 4 of those teams in the top 10 alone in the Big Ten. So you got to go with the Big Ten.
I got the Big Ten as well. I think they'll have 10 teams to make the NCAA tournament, man. That's nuts. That is insane. So you go against a situation where you have a team that's going to make 10 to make the tourney? Nah, dog. That's the best conference in college basketball. Ain't no question. Moving along to the next award, the team that will make the biggest jump in 2020, 2021. Who's your pick and why, Jeff?
University of Tennessee Vols, man. A down year last year, to my surprise. But they're bringing in 2 5-star guards this year and a 4-star wingman with returning their leading scorer from last year and their 2 leading rebounders. Give me UT making a big push. We'll talk about that later.
I hate to say this, but I'm going to go with the North Carolina Tar Heels, man. Last year they just had a down year. One of their top recruits got hurt. He was hurt for a long time. They bounced back this year. They playing with 2 big men this year, which is kind of not good, unheard of in college. So UNC Tar Heels.
Everything we said, I agree. North Carolina, man. You don't normally see a North Carolina team like they were last year. Now, we do know injuries played a big deal in that, but they will get back rolling. Roy had them right back to the North Carolina they normally are. They're in the top 25 currently now, so they're going to have the type of year North Carolina normally has.
Yep. We were a buzzer beater away from being 3-0. Lucky ass shot. Shaka Smart grew some hair, and here we go, man. They beat us in the buzz. I ain't mad at that. I didn't want to do a homer pick. I think my boy is going to be rocking this year, but I picked UConn, man. You lose Christian Vital and you lose Al Tariq Gilbert, but you bring Jeff Scott, RJ Cole in, Tyrese Martin, 21 and 12 points respectively, man. So in turn, they're gonna help. I think they'll find a way to get my big dog, Acock, who's coming from, I know, right? Who's coming from a torn Achilles. And then you got Tyler Polley, who tore his ACL. They're coming back stronger than ever this year. This is going to be tough. And they got Jeff's guy. No, this is Weezy's guy, Book Night as well. So he'll be there too, man. That's a nice starting five. UConn, big jump in 2021. Coach of the year. Who's your preseason pick and why, Jeff?
I'm sticking with Tennessee. I'm going Rick Barnes. They're going to be right on the cusp. Elite 18, possibly Final 14. UT, man, surprise team of the year.
This is usually why I pitch Coach Penning because I know him I just know him, and but I ain't gonna do it this year. He had a good year last year. Should have won it last year. But I'm gonna go with Roe Williams from North Carolina, man. Bounce back year.
I'm gonna go with Mark. Go ahead, Weezy.
I'm just saying nothing to do with him. He doing all that. I'm smiling down there. Ain't got nothing to do with him.
I'm gonna go with Mark Few from Gonzaga, man. They spent 4 weeks in number one last year before finishing second to Kansas in the final poll, which was only done when they canceled the NCAA tournament. They gonna lose. Well, not they're going to. They lost choice because he decided to go play in Serbia, and then he entered the draft. But they still have Corey Kispert and Joel I, which provide their scoring punch. And Jay's boy Jalen Suggs coming is gonna help with them in the backcourt. So Gonzaga is gonna be here for the long haul. Don't be surprised you see them in the end of the tournament somewhere. So I'm gonna go with Mark Few from Gonzaga.
I got Leonard Hamilton as my coach of the year, man. Now 71 years old. James Leonard Hamilton, man, has been charged with sidelines at Florida State since 2002. And now Florida State has become a destination for one and done talent, which should be, again, this season when you have a player like Scotty Barnes playing there on campus. So took a while for Hamilton to get the respect from me, but long underappreciated coach what he's built in Tallahassee. So shout out to Leonard Hamilton, man. Let's get coach of the year this year. National Player of the Year. Who's your preseason pick and why, Jeff?
This is where I take the safe bet and go with the Garza kid. Like everything was said about him earlier. But Jay said probably one of the best fives to play in college basketball, Luka Garza.
I'm a second. I'm gonna go Luka Garza.
Gotta go with Lou right here, man. Everything we already mentioned, and he's gonna be motivated to get this award after losing it to Obi Toppin last year. So he's gonna get it this year.
Yeah, I got Luka right here. This is his award to lose. And you got to look at the departure of many of the bigs in his conference are all gone. And the potential of Iowa to improve and be a better team this year. There's really no reason for him not to win this award. It's a race. Now I'm taking Luka for sure.
We bet that too last year. I ain't forget.
Ooh, he called receipts on you.
Player of the year. You said Luke was gonna win it. I said Obi was gonna win it.
I mean, that shit don't count, man. They didn't play all the damn games, man. If they'd have played in the damn tournament, you know what Luka would have done in the tournament? Is you crazy?
Obi would have had a tournament too, though.
Nah, bro. That team, Luka, bro. Luka was what? You gonna see this year?
No, I'm just saying Obi himself would have had a tournament. That's all.
Let's move right along to the early women's Final Four predictions. Give me your 4, 3, 2, 1, Jeff.
4 Mississippi State, 3 Baylor, 2 Louisville, 1 South Carolina.
I'm gonna go with 4 Notre Dame, 3 UConn, 2 South Carolina, 1 Mississippi State.
4 Kentucky, 3 North Carolina State, 2 Stanford, 1 South Carolina.
I have 4 Notre Dame, 3 UConn, 2 Kentucky, and 1 South Carolina. What about the men's Final Four predictions, Jeff?
4 Kansas, 3 Villanova, 2 Baylor, 1 Gonzaga, and I won't put UT right there but I'm not sure.
I'm gonna go with 4 Kentucky, 3 Florida, 2 UConn, 1 Kansas. Switching it up, baby.
4 Michigan State, 3 Kansas, 2 Baylor, 1 Gonzaga.
I have 4 UNC, 3 Illinois, 2 Baylor, and number 1 Gonzaga.
Oh wow, you went all over the board on that one. My goodness.
That's college basketball, man. And that is a wrap-up of college basketball. That was fun, man. I miss college basketball. I'm excited for the year.
Man.
This is going to be great.
Yes.
I like these picks, man. We never really get to do a mid-season college basketball award show. So I think we'll try to make sure that we do it this year just to kind of see where these picks go. We always do an end of the year, but never really get to do a mid-season. So this will be fun to come back and see.
I just hope and pray it's not a lot of cancellations of these games due to COVID.
Spoiler alert, Coach, that will happen. And they'll be playing May Madness, no March Madness, for sure.
I'm just happy I got to all this show with all my picks. I'm going to get an email after this show. Thank God.
Hey, I'm going to be real with you. You did a good job.
You did a good job today, Weezy.
You did a good job.
Very good job, Weezy.
Shout out to you, Weezy.
This use the show. I get 2 phone calls. I get 2 phone calls after this show. For real. This is a show. I get 2 phone calls. So I ain't getting no phone calls.
You know,
my goodness.
Not for real. I'm proud of you, man, for sure. Don't forget to continue to sign up for the FSP newsletter. It is live. You get those every Wednesday from the FSP to your email. For sure. We'll have that giveaway for everybody to sign up. We appreciate everybody that also signed up for the giveaway through the newsletter. Get that out to you next week on our show on IG Live, for sure. This recap. Hey, man. Fun times, fellas.
As
Anything
always.
before we get out of here?
Always, man. Y'all watch some college basketball, man. Stay in the house. Plenty of time to watch college basketball. Stay in the house because there's plenty of it.
Hey, Jeff. Maybe we put a little bit of the vaccine into that hookah. Then just maybe.
Just maybe.
Then just maybe.
Just maybe.
Then just maybe.
The vaccine's on the way too. I hear it's on the way.
It's on the way for sure.
In that hookah.
Listen.
In the mimosas.
Listen.
In that brunch.
Sunday fun day. You gotta take. Hey, listen.
If we can put the vaccine in Sunday fun day as a whole,
every purchase you get a free COVID vaccine. Boy, I tell you, boy.
Hey, listen. I'll be there. 8 ounce, 16 ounce. Hell, I'll take a bottle. Give me a bottle. Bottle service.
All they gotta do is put it at the compound around. You can't get in unless you take this vaccine. They're gonna run out of that shit. They're gonna run out of it. They're not gonna have enough.
Let's get out of here, man. See, Weezy, you took it too far. You always take it too damn far.
They ain't gonna have enough, bro.
And tweet us with questions throughout the week at Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment and give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page, on the iTunes page. Please rate and subscribe, but more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Weezy.
Everything paid for, baby.
Jeff.
Camera's always on, brother.
Coach Lot.
Get a drummer song.
Sure. The revolution will be podcasted. We are out.
Thank you for listening to the Full Sport Press podcast page. And don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend.
The revolution will be podcasted.